Rachel D'Alto, The Relatable Leader. Create a culture of connection. What if the secret to great leadership isn't having authority or an impressive title? What if it's about truly connecting with the people you lead? Success as a leader today isn't determined by barking out orders, but by building real relationships, earning trust, inspiring growth, and creating a culture where everyone feels seen and heard. Whether you're new to leading or a seasoned pro, building genuine relationships can change how your team members perform and how they feel about their work. The future's most effective leaders will bridge gaps between generations, backgrounds, and perspectives by being authentic, respectful, and galvanizing. When leaders focus on these values, they naturally create workplaces where people don't just show up, they feel valued and motivated to give their best every day. It's about moving past the old command and control mindset and stepping into a role that's part guide, part teammate, and part champion. In this blink, you'll discover the 4 tenets that make leadership relatable and impactful. You'll see how building real connection lays the groundwork for trust and respect. We'll explore why honest, two-way communication is essential, how inspiration lights the spark that drives motivation and purpose, and why manifestation, helping people unlock their potential and overcome challenges, matters now more than ever. These insights will help you lead in a way that not only achieves results, but also creates a culture where everyone can truly thrive. Let's dive in. Tenet 1. Connection. Leadership really starts to come alive when it's grounded in genuine connection. When you move beyond titles and KPIs to wholeheartedly engage with the people around you. When you make relatability your leadership style, assumptions no longer cause barriers. They become bridges that help deepen understanding and tap into new reserves of talent. The good news? Relatability isn't an inborn trait reserved for a few. It's a skill anyone can learn and choose to practice every day. In a large national survey, US employees from all generations, backgrounds, and industries were asked what makes a leader relatable. 2 qualities stood out above the rest: respect and trust. These aren't just buzzwords to throw around. They're the foundation of meaningful relationships that make corporate teams stronger. Respect goes much deeper than simply being polite. It's a sincere belief that everyone on your team has value, not just for what they do, but for who they are. This kind of respect crosses generational gaps and individual idiosyncrasies alike. In a world that's rapidly changing, respect will remain a constant that encourages people to bring their authentic selves to work. When you, as a leader, truly honor this, engagement grows, loyalty flourishes, and the whole organization benefits. Trust, on the other hand, is like your team's shared Wi-Fi. The stronger the signal and the clearer the connection, the smoother everything flows. Without trust, communication falters and innovation stalls. But with it, your people feel safe to share ideas, take smart risks, and be open about challenges without fear of criticism or judgment. Building trust isn't just about being honest and dependable as a leader. It means intentionally creating a space where your team members feel secure enough to speak up, make mistakes, and contribute fully as their whole selves. Trust works both ways. You need to be reliable, yes, but you also need to show confidence in your teams by empowering them to deliver on their responsibilities and promises. When trust flows in both directions, organizations become more resilient and can face setbacks with a shared sense of strength. Showing respect and building trust are the cornerstones of connection. But connection doesn't just happen by chance. It's the result of conscious choices you make every single day. Putting that respect and trust into practice. When you commit to these high ROI habits, you take the first step toward cultivating an environment in which your people can truly thrive. Tenet 2. Communication. Once you've laid the foundation of respect and trust, the next essential ingredient for relatable leadership is how you communicate. Real connection doesn't arise from one-sided announcements or corporate speak conversations. It happens when communication feels genuine, clear, and two-way. People want leaders who speak honestly, but just as much, they want leaders who truly listen. Showing up as your authentic self in communication takes courage and self-awareness. It means being willing to admit when you don't have all the answers, owning your mistakes, and embracing vulnerability. When you're willing to be open, you invite others to do the same. This openness creates a psychologically safe space where team members feel valued and motivated to bring their best. But authentic communication isn't just about what you say, it's also about how you listen. Active listening means giving your full attention, asking thoughtful questions, and genuinely trying to understand perspectives different from your own. Especially in today's diverse and multi-generational workplaces, adapting your communication style to meet people where they are is crucial. Listening well builds deeper connection and helps preemptively avoid misunderstandings that might otherwise erode trust. Take a moment to reflect on a recent instance when your message was misinterpreted or fell flat. What could you have done differently? Perhaps you could have adjusted your tone, clarified your intent, or checked in to ensure the message was interpreted and landed as you hoped. Reflections such as these are vital for the relatable leader. They'll hone your communication skills and refine your ability to connect. Likewise, think about where you can show more authenticity as a leader. What's holding you back from being fully genuine? And what's one small practical step you can take this week to let your real self shine through? Leadership is a marathon, not a sprint. But each step toward becoming a relatable leader makes a big difference. When communication flows openly and honestly, it strengthens relationships and fuels collaboration. It transforms your everyday conversations from simple information exchanges into opportunities for engagement and growth. Your team members don't just work together, they thrive together. In short, intentional communication is an essential quality of a workplace culture in which people feel secure, respected, and eager to contribute. And it's the second pivotal way leadership moves from a role to a relationship, one conversation, email, and meeting at a time. Tenet 3. Inspiration. Inspiration is what gives your team a spark beyond the daily grind. After building trust and communicating openly, this next characteristic transforms the 9 to 5 into something meaningful and energizing. It's about noticing progress, connecting to a bigger mission, and lighting the fire that keeps people motivated and engaged. One powerful way to inspire is through sincere recognition. Think back to a moment when you felt truly appreciated at work. What made it stand out? Often it's the personal, heartfelt nature of the recognition that leaves a lasting impact. Generic praise no longer cuts it. The best leaders today take time to understand what really matters to each individual and tailor their appreciation accordingly. This kind of recognition resonates across generations and personalities because everyone wants to feel seen and valued, not just for what they do, but for who they are. Purpose is another driving force. When people see how their everyday tasks connect to the larger mission, their work takes on new meaning. Then, instead of merely laboring to meet targets, they're thinking about contribution, innovation, and legacy. Leaders who help their teams link individual roles to the organization's vision create a sense of belonging and loyalty that fuels creativity and spurs long-term success. Motivation, then, is the energy that turns this potential into action. It's important to remember that people are motivated in different ways. For example, some employees may flourish solely with an internal sense of passion and fulfillment, while others may require external rewards, like public praise or financial bonuses, to feel acknowledged. By paying attention to these differences, you can adjust how you encourage your team. As with much of what we've explored so far, motivation isn't a one-and-done activity, but a continuous effort. It demands that you stay curious, listen closely, and adapt to what moves your people. When you do this consistently, you can tap into the full capacity and competence of your team. Your own enthusiasm matters more than you might realize too. When you epitomize commitment and energy, you set a positive tone that resounds throughout your organization. Combining heartfelt recognition, a clear sense of purpose, and thoughtful motivation creates more than just an incentivized team. It compounds the culture of personal and professional thriving that you're building as a relatable leader. Tenet 4. Manifestation. Once your people are inspired, the fourth and final step is to give that inspiration somewhere to go. Energy without opportunity fizzles out, but energy with direction turns into growth, confidence, and results. Helping your team develop their skills and expand their capabilities isn't just a nice gesture. It's how you keep your organization's momentum alive in a time of accelerated industry disruption. Start by looking for untapped potential in each employee. Sometimes it'll be obvious, like a skill they've previously demonstrated but never fully utilized. Other times it'll be subtler, revealed in small moments of problem-solving, initiative, or creative thinking. When you spot it, give it room to grow. For example, through mentoring, targeted training, or challenging projects that stretch comfort zones. Development doesn't need to be formal or costly, it just needs to be intentional and consistent. Of course, growth isn't without friction. You'll face resource constraints, competing priorities, or the occasional dip in morale. These moments, while frustrating, are also fertile ground for progress. A breakdown in communication can become the catalyst for enhanced clarity. Conflict between siloed departments can lead to better collaboration. Even a disengaged team member can re-engage when given the right blend of support and stimulation. Sometimes you'll need to remove a roadblock yourself. Other times, guiding people to navigate the journey on their own will be enough. Allowing them to build their sense of self-confidence and self-efficacy along the way. Take a moment to reflect. In your own career, which opportunities shaped you the most? Was it a manager who believed in you? A project that stretched you? Or a chance to lead before you felt ready to do so? How could you offer similar experiences to your team? Looking ahead, the organizational landscape will inevitably keep shifting. Leaders will need to adapt to new technologies like artificial intelligence and augmented reality, manage increasingly diverse teams, and balance efficiency with humanity. These challenges are real, but the fundamentals will remain true. Trust, respect, and clear communication will still be the anchors that hold everything in place. Ultimately, relatable leadership is never done. It's a process of staying curious, asking questions, and learning alongside your team. When you combine adaptability with the human side of leadership, empathy, encouragement, and recognition, you foster the type of holistic support that employees now expect and demand, while simultaneously setting your organization on a trajectory of success, whatever the future holds. In this Blink to the Relatable Leader by Rachel D'Alto, you've learned that great leadership comes down to one simple truth: being relatable, showing up as your true self, and building real connections with your team. When you lead with respect and trust, communicate openly, inspire through genuine recognition and purpose, and foster a space where everyone can grow, your team doesn't just get work done, they thrive while doing so. It's about moving beyond tasks and focusing on people, understanding that leadership is as much about heart as it is about strategy. This mindset shift helps you navigate change and challenges with empathy and resilience, creating a galvanized workplace where everyone feels seen, valued, and motivated. When leaders lead with authenticity and intention, they unlock their workforce's potential and create environments where remarkable things happen. Ultimately, relatable leaders are the secret sauce that turn good teams into great ones. Okay, that's it for this Blink. We hope you enjoyed it. If you can, please take the time to leave us a rating. We always appreciate your feedback. See you in the next Blink.